All right. Helping us with the discussion, we have Benjamin Jewapia. He's now become a regular on the show. Thank you, Benjamin. How are you?
I'm doing well, Roland. How are you?
I'm well. And then we also have Fred Agbanyo. Fred Agbanyo, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Roland, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
How was your interaction with your constituents?
Well, as usual, it went very well. I was there on Friday. There are no more funerals I had to attend.
Okay.
And also interact with some of the executives. And it went very well. I came back yesterday.
All right.
Yeah.
And the people of Santo Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi are hoping that the Electoral Commission will create a constituency that will be named after the district, the Guan district. So will likely have the Guan constituency. And it's where Fred Agbanyo has been elected as the parliamentary candidate futuristically. So that means that we're just waiting for the name. And then Fred will become... Yeah, that's it, right?
It's a safe seat for you, yeah.
Is it a safe seat?
Well, I mean, it's for them. So,
historical.
Yeah.
Of course, you can, okay.
All right. Now let's get some insights. And this has been running for some time. And we have key stakeholders, the teachers, the caterers themselves, and then key stakeholders raising concerns about the state of the school feeding program, the concerns being raised by these school feeding caterers.
Caterers under the school feeding program declared a nationwide strike following government's failure to pay them their arrears and increase the amount per child. The aggrieved caterers drawn from the various regions across the country stressed that laying down their tools is the only option available to them. They say until government agrees to pay them 3 cedis 50 pesos per child, they won't call off their strike.
We cannot go and borrow to come and cook for the children for free. We are fed up. We want our money.
Caterers have become indebted to the traders and farmers we credited items from. We are ashamed because we owe so much.
A recent proposal from the Gender Ministry falls short of the expectation of the caterers.
The cost per child per day has been proposed as 1 cedi 20 pesos, and we are still in talks with the Ministry of Finance to see how best, if it can be reviewed.
For the ranking member on the Education Committee in Parliament, Dr. Clement Park, the proposal is a slap in the face.
To think that for the 2023 budget year, the government allocated and Parliament approved 959 million for the school feeding program, and yet government owes the caterers and is failing to even meet the minimum requirement to provide a nutritious hot meal per day cannot be tolerated. If government has conveyed to the IMF that it has increased the allocation to the school feeding program, why is government failing to agree that the minimum required to provide a decent and nutritious hot meal per day should be 3 cedis 50 pesos? So all these are questions that we ought to be asking government.
If it can be reviewed.
According to the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Laribazwera Abudu, another concern of the caterers, which has to do with the payment of arrears owed them, will be addressed by next week.
Delay in payment is true. 30,860 something is huge. So when the document is very voluminous, you need to take time. And this people's money, you need to be very careful. I want to give the assurance here that next week, caterers' arrears will be paid.
It remains to be seen whether or not the caterers will be returning to the kitchen to cook for the children after the 2-month-long strike. A total of 3,448,065 pupils in some basic schools currently benefit from the school feeding program.
And since on, it's been a tug of war back and forth for all the things and the same reasons they've been raising. We have on the line for us the president for the school feeding caterers. We have Charlotte Asante. Good morning to you, Madam Charlotte.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm told that you want 3 cedis 50 pesos. Why would you want 3 cedis 50 pesos when government says that I can pay you 1 cedi 20 pesos? And you know the difficulties that the economy is going through.
You know why? 6 cedis 50 pesos or 3 cedis 50 pesos? Please, the question again.
I'm told that you, the caterers, want 3 cedis, 50 pesos.
3 cedis.
Oh, 3-7.
We propose 3 cedis.
But why do you want that when the economy is going through difficulties? And the government says I can only pay you 1 cedi, 20 pesos.
Initially, we proposed 3 cedis, 50 pesos. And when we started the negotiation with the secretaries, we arrived at 3 cedis. But after we met the minister, the minister has assured us that government cannot pay the 3 cedis. But since the 1 cedi 20 pesos is a proposal, she will try to do everything possible to see if they will approve maybe 2 cedis for us. So we'll be having a meeting with the minister again and see if they have accepted our 2 cedis. Well, 1 cedi 20 pesos cannot buy anything for now, but we are holding on to it because the minister has assured us that so they can do something about it. And she is our minister, so we are trying. We have the trust in her that she can do something for us. So for now, I think we are waiting for her.
Now, prior to all these discussions, what was your point of argument that the money you were paid was not enough? And why is 1 cedi 20 pesos not going to be even enough, in addition to what you're already receiving?
The reason, because the price of foodstuffs at the market is very high now. We all know that now things are very expensive. Even tomatoes is very expensive. You can't buy foodstuffs for now, but the minister is putting some measures in place to support caterers. Our meeting with her, she let us understand that she will try to see if our great minister will supply the caterers some of the foodstuffs, our local food, so that it will help us. So I think we all know the challenges and the difficulties in the system. But now the prices are, the foodstuff comes from, it's far. So when it gets to Accra, it's very expensive. So we all have to adjust ourselves in a way that we can help the children.
If anything should be agreed on in terms of the pricing, what's the best figure finally, or ultimately that you...
2 cedis will be okay.
2 cedis? Okay.
Yes, 2 cedis will be okay.
All right. When next again are you meeting the minister for some finality to be brought to this?
Before our meeting with the minister, we were having a lot of challenges. Some of the challenges were communication problem. We asked the minister to strengthen the communication between the caterers and the secretariat. And other challenges was how we purchase our foodstuff. That was also our challenge.
Okay.
So due to that, I think we'll be having a frequent meeting so that we can put all these things in place. We can find a solution to all these problems so that the program can move forward.
Okay. Now,
so we all agree that in 2 weeks' time we'll have another meeting with the minister and the secretary and the management of the secretariat. And the minister will start a regional tour, I think, from next month. She will go to the district, the regions, to visit the caterers in their kitchens to see the challenges and the difficulties we go through. Our problem is not only the price or the increment or maybe our payment. Some of the head teachers at the school also give some of the caterers
some hard time.
Yes. So we put all these things in front of the minister.
All right.
So from next month going, she'll be going around to visit the caterers in their various schools to talk to the head teachers. She wants them to understand that we are working with them, and we all have to support this.
All right.
program.
So let me get this right. The initial figure that you wanted was 3 cities, 70 pesos?
No, the figure that we wanted was 3 cities, 50 pesos.
Okay.
The previous one was 1 city, and they will take tax out of it, then it will let 97 pesos. Now I don't know whether they are going to take that out of what they will approve or what. So we'll leave it for now. And since our minister has promised that she will see to it that they increase it small for us, we are waiting for it.
Okay. We want to get this promise from you. If your agreed figure is approved for you, would you stop giving the children the gas oil that you give them? The rice, you know gas oil?
I don't know gas oil.
Okay. That watered down gravy-like kind of soup that you put on the rice for the children, will you stop giving the children that? Since it's a figure you finally have agreed.
No, you see, actually, me myself, I've been having complaints concerning this type of food. But I can say most of the caterers are cooking very good food for the children. That's the reason why you are hearing us agitating. At least we have 1 or 2 people who are not doing things right. That's the reason why we let the minister understand that the national coordinator some years back did an orientation for us. But I think she was not able to cover all the regions. So if she would take it up to do it, it will help. Because day in, day out, we all have to learn. And I think caterers, once they are handling the food, day out, they to give them orientation. So ministers from us are very should be having a rotation for all the children. So this we want to with time we can correct things. As for this type of food, me myself, I haven't seen my eyes open.
All right.
I've been seeing it in internet and people are saying it.
All right.
But as for the particular case, don't know, but we'll see. And you see, there was some video too circulation. That video is not from Ghana. It's from one of.
Which video? The video we are seeing is from Ghana, and this is Ghana soup. Are you watching TV? They say it's stew. Harriet is related to one of the caterers. Say it's stew. If you're watching TV, this soup you are serving the children. You said 2 cedis. I'm asking 2 cedis or whatever it is that you want. Is it going to improve the soup? Madam Charlotte. Well, we've lost her. What do you think, Ms. Appiah?
Well, and a very good morning to you and your cherished viewers. I want to say a very good morning to the people of Cape Coast North. And to Nana.
That's your original constituency. Yes. Great.
And then Nana Noche of Asimra Kese to event, and then eventually my mother. Okay. I would also want to say a very good morning to the World Bank Country Director, Mr. Laporte. In fact, Roland, at this point, I would want...
I have Madam Charlotte. Madam Charlotte, are you back on the line?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I have. So we're showing some gravy-like watered-down soup. And I'm saying that if you agree on the 2 Ghana cedis, do you promise to improve this level of soup and quality of food that you serve the children?
The soup you are talking about, I don't know where the soup is from, though. But normally we use groundnuts, we use palm nuts. So if the feed is approved, the food will improve.
Okay.
As we all know, we have to give the well-balanced diet so that they can get the nutrition need. So if the feed is approved, the food will also improve.
Okay. So my last question, does it mean that prior to now you are not feeding the children with balanced diet, since you talked about balanced diet?
Not getting it, have to get it a full bowl for them to eat and be okay. The quantity has reduced, but we are feeding them with well balanced. Just that the quantity has reduced.
All right. There's a concerned parent on our Facebook. He says that I should ask you, would you feed your children this type of food?
Which type of me? Do you know something? Me, the food I cook, my kids also eat. My husband eats. But sometimes when I cook, I don't want to go and serve and serve and come back and cook again. So I try to help my family.
Okay, noted.
So I thank you.
We're getting a bad feedback. It's okay. All right. Thank you very much. Now you were saying.
Yeah, Roland. So I was saying a very good morning to Mr. Laporte, the World Bank Country Director, in fact, for bringing a finality and closure on the propaganda and lies that came from, Mr. Fred Abonyo and his party, that World Bank has done their audit. Now they find out that the government did not misuse the COVID funds. And I read a statement for you. He says, we have done our audit and we concluded that the government of Ghana largely used the COVID support tokens properly to the bent of Ghana. We are very satisfied that our resources were spent in line with the procurement requirement that existed. We don't feel that our resources have been misused or mismanaged. From our audit, all funds provided to Ghana were expended for their right purposes. Pierre-Frank Laporte, World Bank Country Director for Ghana. So I am very excited this morning that all the lies and the propaganda that the NDC was trying to deceive the ordinary Ghanaian, that COVID funds were largely misappropriated and not used for the right things. World Bank have come to us and have been able to come out with the truth. In fact, there was a press briefing yesterday by Abu Jinapo, calling him all sorts of names.
You mean John Jinapo?
John Jinapo of the NDC, calling him all sorts of names because Mr. Laporte had come out to say the truth that all the COVID funds were not misappropriated. These things we need to be very, very. I think maybe as we go on, we will discuss about it because it was the
We're not
lies.
talking unless maybe the two of you agree that we should.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that I'm excited that he has come out clean because on several occasions the NDC kept on.
Are you setting your own agenda because we gave you a topic to speak?
I mean, I'm just saying a good morning to Laporte, and I believe that since the NDC is attacking him right now, he needs special security briefing. Roland, straight to the, the school feeding program. Roland, it is very important that we all know that as a government, we are a listening government. And when our mothers, the caterers, had to go around, demonstrating and were agitated that their arrears were not being paid, they had every right to. But listening to the minister on his press briefing last week, Sunday, he came out to let us know that the payment of all the arrears for first and second term for the caterers for the school feeding program has been paid. However, the first term for 2023 has not gone. And I believe that is why our caterers or our mothers are still agitated. In fact, they are saying they want increment. But Roland, if you look at the figures that are coming in, there has been a tremendous expansion since we came in.
Of what?
Of the number of children that was included on the program. In fact, as I talk to you right now, the number of children that are being fed under the school feeding program, as I talk to you right now, stands at 3,801,491 students.
You mean 3,800,000 and something thousand children are being underfed?
No,
97
they
pesos.
are included. In fact, initially it was around 1 million since we took power. But then, because, we want more, more people to join the program, we have increased it. Now, Roland, the number of schools as at 2018 was around 6,000. This time you have 10,832 public schools that have been included. We had, in 2016, we had only about 4,000 caterers. Now we have 11,052 caterers who are under the program.
What's the point with this?
With this is that, when you have all these numbers that are going up, that means you need to add more, finance or money to...
It increases the budget.
Exactly. It increases the budget. You understand, Roland? So it's very important that we come to know that government is trying as much as possible. What I'm trying to say right now is that we are with the mothers, we are with the caterers. Whatever agitation that they have and that they have put before government, like the minister have assured them, minister had assured them that she's doing everything possible to make sure that the increment that they are looking for will be met. And it's very important. Roland?
Now, while you say that, I have Kujo Kisi on our stream, who is asking, it is not about the feeding, but how qualitative the food is that is given out. Can you eat such a food continuously for a week?
Roland, I have, there's a standard of measurement.
Of what?
For the caterers.
Okay.
That, if you want to cook, let's say, jollof, there's a standard of measurement for, you cannot just cook anything for the school children. And the secretariat is in charge of making sure that these caterers do the right thing.
Are you sure?
I am telling you
Danny,
that...
please bring up those videos of the school feeding.
I am saying that perhaps if some people really take the money to go and cook for these children and they are not doing the right thing, the secretariat is in charge of making sure that such people are removed from their list. What I can tell you right now is that, you see, Roland, when they say the 1 cedi 20 pesos is very low for everyone, it does not mean that each and every child that is on the program is given 1 cedi to go and buy food. Obviously, it wouldn't even satisfy anyone. You went around, there's a trending video of you buying wachi. You alone.
Yesterday.
And it was even for 40 cedis as well.
Yeah, but that's
then,
in a crowd.
if we all decide to cook right now, Roland, on this table, we all can pitch in, right? Let's say Fred and I and all of you, or even those in the studio, we all can pitch in. And then at the end of the day, if everybody brings 1 cedi, 1 cedi, 1 cedi, let's say we have 100 cedis. So it does not mean that your 1 cedi can go and buy food. But then at the end of the day...
As far as the economic of
exactly.
Scale is,
let's say we eat very well on this table, and then next time we are saying, oh, next time we should add egg, next time we should add this or that. That means there has to be an increase. Maybe we wouldn't take 1 cedi again. We have to take 2 cedi if you want more or a nice food, as we say. Roland, this program is a program that has been managed well by this government. In the elsewhere government, former President John Dramani Mahama was giving them 50 pesos.
Okay.
But when we came in, we have increased it to 97, even 1 cedi. Okay?
97.
Yes, because of the taxes. But even it was pegged at 1 cedi in our budget. Now, what we are saying, what the caterers are insisting is that they want 3 cedi 50 pesos. The minister is still negotiating with them. I believe it's the right call. I think that this is the right thing to do. But you see, like you are saying, we are in difficult times, Roland.
Yes.
We are in a very difficult times. And I would plead with these caterers that they wait and make sure that things are, as things are getting better these days, eventually we would get to that place.
Danny, please put up the video. Let me ask Benjamin some quick question. Benji.
Yes.
Seriously. Of course, this is outside a main city center.
Right.
If you look at the video circulating, do you think that this food, averagely, this food is quality enough? This one.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. This one is gas soup. I think somebody's telling me.
I wouldn't be happy if my child is being fed with this kind of food. I must be very sincere. Like I'm saying, there are also some bad people in the system. Okay, when they are giving the money, they do not.
You mean there are some school feeding caterers who are exploiting
exactly. They don't even care about some of these things. However, government's responsibility is to make sure that the budget allocated for this program is being met.
Okay.
You understand? So, we have countries like Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, all of them who have even come here to learn about this policy.
I think even Uganda also.
And when they went to pilot it, they could not sustain the program.
Yeah.
But under this president, even that times are, we all know we are in extreme difficult times. But President Akufo-Addo made sure that there was an increment from 50 pesos to 97 or 1 cedi, I would say. And now they are saying they want an increment. It's a good call.
You are saying
it's a good call. We must align with them. We must listen to them because they go to the market. They get all the foodstuffs and whatsoever. If we decide not to listen to them, it might be a problem. Okay. So I am saying that government is siding with them. The minister has assured them that the proposed amount is pegged at 1 cedi 20 pesos. She will make sure that that increment is being met, and I think it's a good call.
Your response today, related to, he's arguing that, look, for all the things that have been argued about, we've seen an increment in the numbers of beneficiaries. And then also, there's been an increment of the figure per head. Is that a good argument to make?
Well, Roland, thank you very much.
Within the scheme of things.
Thank you very much. And once again, let me say good morning to our Caterers viewers, to the people of Likpe, people of Lobby, Central Kofi, and Akpafu. Roland, is it everything that we must reduce to partisan politics? Can't we sometimes elevate the conversation and be a bit nationalistic about it? When it's an issue that affects all of us, regardless of one's political affiliation, it's only fair and proper that we look at it in that context and discuss it as such. But when everything has become, hardcore partisan propaganda, it doesn't help anybody. I don't need Laporte to come from America to come and tell me how COVID expenditure or how COVID resources were spent in this country. I don't need him to come and tell me, because I live in this country. And we all saw what happened with the COVID money. If for nothing at all, there's an ample evidence that one of their own parliamentary candidates came out to tell us how their monies were shared. What was given to the country executives, what was given to parliamentary candidates, what was given to chairmen and the rest. The videos are available. Everybody saw it. The entire country was not locked down. It was Accra, Kumasi, and I think Kasada was locked down. They were fed for just how many weeks? 2 weeks. We saw the budget that subsequently they presented to us. We are aware of the money that we got as a result of the COVID, almost 35 billion Ghana cedis. That's the money that came in. You cannot take what the president himself said during the State of the Nation address, or the finance minister told us, that the total expenditure on COVID was about 19 billion. This is about 35 billion, and then spend 19 billion. Why should we be struggling today and be fighting that you don't have money? And so, if you spend the money very well, Ghanaians can attest to it. When we're going for elections in 2020, you told us we're going to give us free water, free electricity, and what have you.
Well, it was free that year.
Shortly after the elections, what happened? They came back and they started us to pay. Till date, as we speak here right now, are we not paying COVID levy? Are we not? Are we not contributing to the COVID that is gone?
Well, the arguments are that year we enjoyed it free.
Did we enjoy it free? You always suspended my payment. Originally, told us we were going to give it to us for free because you wanted our votes. And just when you got the votes, you came back and said, no, there's no free lunch in heaven. Come and pay for it. And we have paid. And since the utilities have been going up every now and then. You see, it would be nice if our colleagues in the MPP would appreciate what Ghanaians are going through and be humble enough, show some empathy, empathize with the people of this country. But when early in the morning we come into national television and this type of vibratos as if we don't care, I'm so excited that somebody, a country director, has said this and that. For me, I was sad. And I'm sure our viewers are really, really sad this morning. This is not what we expect from our colleagues in government.
What do you mean by that? Because he's been very magnanimous in his communication.
Magnanimous than what? That Laporte has said that what? That is quoting a report that you and I even have not seen, even if it is true. And so what? Do we need Laporte to tell what is happening in our country? Do I need the President of America to tell what is happening in my country? At my age, if I put my hand in my pocket, there's no money in my pocket, won't I know? Do I need anybody to tell me? If I wake up and I can't get breakfast to eat, do I need anybody to tell me? If I'm struggling to pay my rent, do I need somebody from America to come and tell me? If lorry fares are going up and our market women are suffering, do we need somebody from America to come and tell us? Can I have my free day? Can I have? Will you allow the gentleman to keep quiet? I sat when you were speaking.
It's when you were talking. Just
I kept quiet. Sure. If you don't have a pen, I can borrow you one.
No, it's good. You continue.
Right? So do I need anybody?
No fire. He's a fireman, so let's slow down.
Oh, no, that's for me. Because that's not what Ghanaians are looking for. It's early in the morning, right?
You work with the Peace Council.
Right? That's what Ghanaians are looking for. And so we should just be careful. We should be sensitive to the times in which we are. Reality is that times are very tough. Ghanaians are going through difficult times. And so the least... Oh, the gentleman, what is wrong with him?
Please
you can't tolerate it for a minute. You see, Ghanaians are going through very, very, very challenging moments. These are what people's faces and people cannot even smile. Look at my brother, the cameraman. I think he's happy that he's sitting there. He's thinking about where the next breakfast will come from, where the lunch will come from. How many times don't you receive text messages and messages? People are asking, begging you for basic money. Can you send me 10 cities? Can you send me 20 cities? As for rent and medical bills, we don't even want to talk about it. And so you come and sit here this morning and telling us that, oh yes, the money we got, we use it very well, everything's okay. It's over to you. Maybe you don't buy fuel. I agree.
School feeding.
Right?
School feeding.
Maybe you don't pay rent. I agree. But if you're like the rest of us who are going through it and we are feeling it, definitely you will not speak the way you are speaking. So I can pardon you. The school feeding program again, why are we reducing it to this level? President is doing very well.
How do you mean?
This program was rolled in this country far back in 2005. When the program started, World Food Program, the Dutch government, and Ghana government, they came together and said, we want to roll this program. At the time, we were looking at enrollment. We were looking at how to attendance to school and how to retain students in school. The issues that came to the fore was that several students in the country were not getting nutritious food. And so let's give them one hot meal a day, and nutritious food. Now, the idea is that this program was also going to enhance local agriculture production. So if you look at the program on paper, Roland, beautiful program. And if you had been successful in rolling out the program, all of us today would have been happy. Because the trickling effect would have, somehow benefited everybody. But the reality is that the implementation of the program has been very challenging. Along the line, the Dutch government has been pulled out of the program.
Yes, they did.
If you remember, around that time, they said we fed students with maggot, rotten tomatoes.
When they did an audit.
That the tomatoes that we fed the kids was rotten, there were maggots in the tomatoes, and they pulled out. And so government then was struggling as to how to go about the program. I remember in those early days, this program, for instance, they wrote in a school like Achimota School. And most of the kids from Achimota School are from, like quite an average or better homes. And so they serve them the food, they don't eat it. I remember when we came into government, we picked Achimota Primary School program alone, and we took it to the Choco Mamprobi area to about 6 different schools. So we all know the progression we have made over the years. Are we just interested in the quantity? That, oh, we are feeding 5 million people.
No, now we're feeding
Is it 3 million? 3 million plus. Is that all that it is? We are feeding, what are we feeding them?
Well, Fred, somebody will ask that we are in economic difficulty, so.
You see, and look at these accusations against the what's the name? The cooks, the people who are preparing, cooking the food for their kids. Some of them, you claim they are insensitive, they take their money and they don't do the right thing. What are you talking about? We are in difficult times. Go and check food inflation in this country today. How much is a fruit of tomato today in our market? How much are they selling pepper today? How much is a bag of rice? How much is a bag of oil? And so you expect the caterer to do some magic, right? And serve the children the best of foods. Is that what it is? I am arguing that what is the point in increasing the numbers just for the sake of increasing the numbers when you cannot give them nutritious food that the program envisaged? When today the caterer cannot even buy the food stuff from the local market because of the pricing. When as a nation we don't have a dedicated sort of funding this program and we are not thinking about it. See, the secretary that is in charge of this program, my brother, even sometimes resources for people to go around and do monitoring and evaluation is a problem. And so the monitoring and evaluation is very poor. And so some of the food that are served, if you go to some of the communities and the schools, I just received a text from a teacher who said they have the program in their school. I think the school is in Sogago area there. He said the last time they fed the kids was before March this year.
So since March?
Since March.
Because of the strike?
Yeah, before the strike even started. They were not feeding the kids before the strike. And so, let's look at the logistics. When you sit back, if you're on television, or you go around the schools, my brother Roland, and you see the environment in which some of this food, they even prepare the food. Most of the children even have kitchens. And so they prepare the food under trees. Wind is blowing, dust is entering.
That's very true.
Sometimes look at even the bowls in which the kids eat. They sit on the bare floor. They scatter the bowls around the caterer and they put the food in it. How hygienic is that for our children? And so for me, this is something we should have a holistic conversation about. We can take the partisan too hardcore policy out of it. Because whichever way, it will not be my child or your child who is sitting around this table, but your auntie's child may be there. Your brother's child may be there. Somebody in the village out there. So we should not be interested in just putting out figures. Oh, we have increased the number of schools, the number of pupils. What are we serving them? What are the health implications? Have we done any research to ascertain or to come to the conclusion that this food we are serving that is supposed to be a nutritious food, one hot meal a day, are we indeed serving them one hot meal a day, or we are rather selling some sickness to the kids? Have we done any research to come to that, to know that? You understand? And so for me, we need to go back. And I've always maintained that nobody has put a gun to our head to say that feed all the kids in Ghana. Because what we realized is that before the program started, it said, well, a lot of children were not going to school. They were in the house. The problem could be feeding. And so when the program was introduced, enrollment increased. Can we sit back and do some assessment and say, okay, maybe this problem is not necessarily in Accra. Can we move it from Accra? Can we move from Kumasi?
But we still have urban poor.
Yes, so the urban poor. So can we do proper targeting?
Means testing.
That's right. So that those who really need the feeding, I'll give you the feeding. That way, in reducing the burden.
In a qualitative manner.
You understand? So we should not just be interested in quantity. The quality of whatever program we are rolling up should be very key on the agenda. Otherwise, we'll come around the table and just come and do a normal propaganda.
Is there this level of empathy within the corridors of power that, look, the state of the program, for example, you look at the food that's being served, and so within the economics of the times that we have and the state of the country, the 2 cedis that is being suggested to the caterers need to be increased. Do you seem to get that suggestion?
Like, Roland, just a quick rebuttal to what he said earlier on when he said that, the president or our government.
Can you mute? Why are you talking?
Yes. The president of the republic has no empathy for this. For the ordinary Ghanaian. It's a lie.
Did I say that? No,
that's what you were trying to say. But I want to assure you that we received COVID money from World Bank. So it was appropriate that, they came clean about some of these things. And now Laporte, the World Bank country director, is telling us that, like this, NDC is lying and deceiving Ghanaians. There was no misappropriation of funds. And why are they hurt about that? Because they said they have done their audit. That is the report that's coming out. You people should know and should be grateful for that. What I'm saying right now is that with the school feeding program, Roland, we are in a very hard times. Even the president of the republic has admitted that we are in extremely hard times, hasn't he? Has the president not said on occasions that we are really in difficult times in our country? So what we are saying is that, yes, there has been a proposal that you want an increment. We are saying that we are not in the right state of our economy. Things are gradually getting back. Just about 2-3 months ago, Roland, you and I were buying a liter of diesel for 23 Ghana cedis. Now, what is the price?
Well, where was it before the...
Because of this global hardship. Of course. So we used to buy it at 23. Now it has come down to 13 cedis.
Where was it before 13?
No, that is what I'm saying. But we all know the impact of COVID and this Russia-Ukraine war. We all know. Even in the U.S., there were several protests about gas and the prices that it went to. So we should know that it is very important that as at now, things are not at the right state, but gradually things are getting back. Now, how much is a petrol right now? We used to buy it at 18 cedis. Now it's going down. So gradually,
where was it before now? That's because of COVID.
Roland, when you say that, we are not appreciating the fact that COVID brought some consequence or some kind of bad wind on the economies of the world. Even in the US and Europe and everywhere, people were protesting. You and I know that. So gradually, things are getting back to normal. What I'm saying is that if they are saying that they want an increment, Roland, we are just pleading with them that as things are getting better, we may go back to the drawing table and look at their grievances. For now, even with the proposed 1 cedi 20 pesos, government is willing to increase it. But to say they want it at 2 cedi or 3 cedi is too much for now, Roland. It can be done later on. But right now, things are extremely difficult. So what we are saying is these caterers need to understand government. We have been with them. We are still with them. And one thing that I'm currently happy about is that the Minister of Agriculture, the new Minister of Agriculture, has gone round to certain places to even inquire about boxes of tomatoes, onions, yam, and other things, so that we could know the true prices of some of these things and how to get them back to the city.
You mean he has to take the Minister of Agriculture
to
the prices?
I am saying that, he's willing to know some of the prices. Because, in fact, Roland, some of these tomatoes that comes to the city, you can get a whole box for 400 cedis. When it comes to Accra, it's 2,000 cedis for one box. That's an outrageous price. So those profiteering and all those things are some of the things that we need to talk about. I was happy when Fred Abonyo said that the monitoring and evaluation team at the Secretariat of the School Feeding Program is something that we need to look at. I am happy with that. We need to go back to that place and make sure that these people that are responsible for monitoring and evaluating, like we are saying, the minister herself cannot go to Wa or even Tamale or even Techiman all the time. But in each and every district, there is a monitoring and evaluation school feeding program secretariat.
There is?
Yes.
And then we have the current state of the
they need to go around and check and make sure that these people are doing the right thing.
But
that is where my problem is. They have to go back and do the right thing.
So now the problem are the caterers? The problems are the caterers?
No, I'm not saying the problems are the caterers. I am saying that right now, it is important that the monitoring and evaluation team, all under the school feeding program, would also have to go around and make sure that some of these pictures that we see on our screen are not the best. Perhaps the same money that was paid to somebody in Techiman would cook a very nice meal for that number of students. But somebody would go and take the money because it's not your child and because you are not going to eat some of this food. You just cook it anyhow. And then you go and serve the kids. So if the monitoring and evaluation team is going around and is seeing some of these things, you call them. You call them out.
What you put in is what you get. If you're paying the caterers, as at this time, the food that we're showing on TV, on the screens,
yes,
are the outcomes of 97 pesos. And I'm asking you,
I am saying,
if 97 pesos, even if you should pay it in bulk, and you're making these bulk cooking sessions and then these meals.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the quality you get, is that not it?
Roland.
And not blaming the caterers. Because right now, that's what we're doing on this. We're blaming the caterers instead of taking their responsibility to say that...
Don't, think that I'm blaming the caterers.
Okay.
We are siding with them. However, there are loopholes. It's not a perfect, program or setup.
Yes.
You might have some people that are also taking advantages of such system. And Fred said that the monitoring and evaluation unit, all under the secretariat, will need to be up and doing. That is exactly what I am supporting. Because like he said, it may not be my ward, but my auntie's child or whoever. So it's very important that we all come to... I was in Dome last week, who was also under the same school feeding program. Last week, Wednesday, they were fed with jollof. And it was a very nice, nutritious
Which
jollof.
school was that?
Dome, Crossing. Dome.
And the food there was quality jollof.
What I saw was very quality.
Not taste.
No,
not
it was very quality.
What
At least, yes, it was very quality. What I'm saying is that some people would also want to, take advantage of the system. Roland, let us not let us not, brush that away. It is very important that, we note that some caterers are also not up and doing, and that needs attention.
Okay.
So what I'm saying currently is that the monitoring and evaluation team of the school feeding program must be up and doing.
Okay.
Please, we plead with them. If they have the chance, please go around and see some of these things. And it's good that the media went around to bring to our notice. That is the job of the media.
Yeah,
the
government and its assigns and the ministry response is
all helping us. You understand? We are all helping each other.
No. So while you add that, for example, Tuga, who is on our stream, is saying common sense should just tell us that we need to engage farmers in every district to grow the needed foodstuff and problem solved. So,
I think that's what the Minister of Agriculture is doing right now,
really?
By going to all those places.
but so it means that we need to think outside the box, is that not?
Roland,
the solution is not far off.
I think that we ourselves, we are just the problem. We don't sit down to think through policies well before we roll them. And you would have expected a policy that has been running for more than 20 years, or at least between 2005 to now, almost 20 years plus. At least some evaluation should have been done along the line. We put other measures in place to curtail some of them we are talking about. But what we politicians normally would do? We are quick to blame the poor caterer. Get to some of these caterers and interact with them. They go and borrow the foodstuffs on credit. And for months,
they haven't been paid.
They've been paid. And they are chasing and pursuing them.
So that's a problem.
I am aware of some people who could even sleep in their own houses. No. I am aware of some caterers to saving their properties, just so they can defray this cost. And what you have done politically, we must admit it. If it is wrong, it is wrong. Go and check majority of these caterers. The party that is in power, oftentimes they are women organizers who are engaged to do this work. All the caterers who are agitating today, they are your party people. Those of them went to the Ashanti regional minister and they were driven away. They are your party people.
So what's your point?
So the agreement that maybe somebody is trying to, make government unpopular It's not that here nor there. The reality that there's a problem on the ground.
With the program.
With the program.
And its implementation.
And its implementation.
And its funding.
And we need to look at, see, if you don't pay their money to the caterers, how do you expect them to feed the people? And know that the revenue of the program, they don't pay their money to them immediately. You are supposed to have the capacity, source your own funding, feed the people after some number of days before monies are paid to you. Now, government is not even able to live up to that contractual agreement that they have the caterers. That maybe after 45 days, we will pay you the money. In some cases, after 100 days, the monies have not been released to them. And so the person that they go to buy the gari from, if the price of gari today is maybe 5 cedis per a milk tin, they know that you're not going to pay the money on time, so they will sell it to you maybe at 7 cedis. Because they also look at inflation. So these are the realities on the ground. I am saying that. Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the communities. Let's encourage the communities. Look, see, I visited a school recently. A school is supposed to be an agri school per se.
That's in your area.
In my area. I'm talking about Akpafu Tech. So they do more of agriculture. They do technical courses. And so I was interacting with
them. Do they have a school farm?
They don't have a school farm.
So that's a problem.
They don't have a school farm. And now when you talk to the headmaster, they say, hey, no, government didn't do it. So I say, but you are supposed to be doing practical agriculture. So the students are learning from the farm, and at the same time, they are producing food. That, for instance, you can sell to a program like this.
Or even feed themselves.
Even feed yourselves.
As part of complementary.
Why should you have so much land around your school? And yet you have to go and buy cassava. You have to go and buy maize to come and feed yourself. It doesn't make sense to me. How can we be having a school feeding program? If you go to my area, our main agriculture activity is rice farming. And yet, to feed secondary school students, we have to bring rice from Accra, from the Buffer Stock Company, to come and feed the people there. When the local rice is there, then we can encourage the farmers to grow more, so that we can buy from the local people to feed the students in the schools. So I am saying that let us go back and look at the school feeding program. Let's start targeting properly. Let's provide the tools that they need. Every school that is doing a school feeding program must have a befitting kitchen. They must have a nice place that students can eat. You see, you can't say you want to provide nutritious food. And that food now is creating sickness and diseases for the students. Then what are you curing?
Well, there are some schools that are even still being taken off under trees.
We have not finished.
Because the Minister of Education is now also
even if you have finished,
has always been doing that since he came to office. So
assuming that we have taken all the schools off the trees.
Or are taken.
Maybe let's put it that way. Do we have the kitchens? Because most of the schools that we are building in this country today, even the teachers, they don't just have common rooms. You go to the schools, the students are in the classroom, the teachers are sitting under trees. Because there are no staff common room. No provisions made for staff common room for teachers. So I am saying that let's go back to the basics. Let's do proper targeting.
All right.
Who really needs the school feeding program? Who can afford and who cannot afford? Can we encourage the community people to grow the food? If you can assure the young people in the various communities that, you know what, if you grow 5 acres of cassava, we will buy all from you immediately. And they are guaranteed that market, they will be encouraged to go in there. If you can guarantee them some pricing, they are interested to go in there. So we need to look at this program very well and see how we can implement it. We should not just be interested in the numbers. We have 5,000 people, 500 people. That will not help us. And so for me, government and school feeding secretariat must sit back, engage the caterers. Let's stop passing the blame. Let's stop blaming the caterers alone. They cannot be responsible for the mess we have. Look what you are showing on television this morning. How fair is this? This is not even distracting academic work. How can students finish eating in the same class where they are learning and go back to go and learn over there? The scent of the food will take over the whole environment. How can they concentrate? But you see this thing, because the impact or the effect is not felt immediately, we seem to gloss over them. You understand? We don't measure it. Assuming it's something that somebody will fall sick and go to hospital, they say there are no nurses, there are no doctors. That one, somebody will die. So our attentions are always there. But because this one takes a longer time, we tend to, gloss over it. We don't pay particular attention to it. So for me, it's a major problem with the school feeding program. The concept of the program is good, that let's give one nutritious food, that it will help an enrollment, it will help to retain students in school. We are saying that after 20 years, let's go back and see where we have gotten it wrong and put things in place to make the program a good program. Stop just adding more schools, adding more caterers. That is not what we need. It's about the quality of what we are giving out, not the quantity.
All right. Would you say that the government will be able to give more than the 2 cedis that the caterers say they are being assured of? Because 2 cedis is really not far from 1 cedis, looking at the current rate of inflation.
Yeah, actually, they are doing plenty for food and jobs. A lot of food. Just a second before you come in. This is a country that is rolling a program called Planning for Food and Job. So there should be plenty of food and the price of food should be down.
Of course.
So why are we struggling?
You and I know that there's no food.
But it's expensive.
You see,
can't buy it.
You see, Roland, what we are currently saying is that...
I asked a question about the money.
Yes. I think, in my opinion, I think it's feasible. But you see, because, you know, things are really hard.
There are other competing interests, you say?
No, we are in extreme difficult times, Roland.
All right.
So that's why I'm saying we are pleading with them. Okay. That at the right time, right now,
you are pleading with them to accept the current state and keep feeding low quality food.
No, I'm not saying that they should keep on. I'm not even. I don't think all of them are doing the low quality food like
some of them are doing. It depends on the area.
Some.
All right.
But what we are saying, Roland, is that this government is a listening government. We side with them. We are pleading with them that, you know, things are now getting better.
Okay.
Okay.
I have this gross comment. I call it gross because it's from Harry Kofi. Harry Kofi on our stream. He says that I believe one of the best ways to improve the school feeding program is to let the ministers and government appointees eat the same food that is prepared for the kids. When that is done, they will see the need to improve the quality. It sounds funny, but also very true as far as this is concerned. We're hoping that at least this will be improved and subsequently at least we'll have some...
Yeah, so it goes back to the monitoring and evaluation. They should at least taste it and know